Good evening, everyone. I'm doing a 3-card reading, but before I get into the reading, I need to make you aware of what deck I'm using because this deck can be very confronting. If you feel you need some tough love at the minute, this is the reading for you, and you can pick 1, 2 or 3, or you can listen to all 3 messages and see if they resonate. The deck that I'm using is the Kali Oracle. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of Goddess Kali, but she's normally portrayed blue skin with her tongue sticking out, looking really crazy and fierce. She's been very misunderstood over the years. We've been taught that she was somebody that just went around slaying and garroting and chopping people's heads off and that she was a horrible person. It's not real. It's just a symbol for overcoming the ego. Goddess Kali Ma can help us to overcome our own suffering that comes from our conflicting, overthinking mind. Okay, so she wasn't a literal person that went around hurting people. She's just got this fierce, protective, mothering energy that knows when something is no longer good for you. So imagine that you're somebody that still, like somebody that still likes a teddy bear, even when you're an adult, and you're still clinging on to this comfort blanket or this teddy bear. Kali Ma will let you have it for a little bit, and then she'll go, right, give me that, and she'll rip it off you. You can't be walking around with a teddy bear anymore, you're an adult. Do you know what I mean? She's that type of energy. So if you feel you need some of this tough love, stay tuned for this reading. Like I said, and what I will say is there's some confronting imagery in this deck, but it has to be striking and confronting to really make us sit up and think about what's going on in our lives and how we can overcome any suffering or how we can feel more free. She really wants us to feel more free. So sometimes she's a little bit confronting about it, but if you feel that's what you need at the minute, stay tuned for the reading. Okay, so I've got card 1, card 2, and card 3. So you don't have to overthink it. Whichever card comes to mind for you first, that's your card. Whatever card you're intuitively pulled to, like I said, 1, 2, 3, that's your card, okay? So the first card, and this is the first card I ever drew from this deck, and I kind of thought, oh my goodness, look at that, is Troma Nagmo. Now look at her. These are all emanations of Kali, okay? Now the imagery has to be confronting to make us really look at it and say, why is that confronting to me? And the more you gaze at it, the more you realise that, okay, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm gazing at this image, the less confronted by it I feel, because I'm realising that my fear isn't real. Do you see what I mean? But when Troma Nagmo, if you pick card 1, Troma Nagmo comes to us when there is a severe threat to our growth. If there's either yourself, if you're stuck in overthinking, or if you're stuck in conflict, or you can't pull yourself out of your own head, or if there's somebody that you've fallen out with recently, or somebody that you don't get on too well with, or someone that you're having struggles with, and they're sending you sort of harmful energy, and you're really caught up in that place of thinking, I'm never going to get through this, and why is this person like this towards me? Or you're stuck in your own thoughts. Troma Nagmo comes up to say that she is now lifting you out of that. She's blocking and deflecting all things that are coming at you from what's perceived to be outside of you that is a threat to your growth or a threat to your well-being. She wants you to feel free, and she has to look confronting because she needs to deflect the things that are not for your highest good. So that's what Troma Nagmo means when she comes up in a reading. She says, just surrender to raising your vibration, take yourself out of your head, stop worrying about it, because the more you're in conflict in your own mind, the worse you're making it. Let it go and she'll deal with the rest. She's a huge sense of protection here. So know that everything will be okay. Even though she looks confronting, she has to be to shock you out of it, shock you out of the suffering, because a lot of the suffering is from our own thoughts. Okay? So anything that is a threat to our growth, and the one thing that is a threat to our growth is our own overthinking and our own ego. Okay? It's not good for our well-being. So if you're stuck in that mindset, she's here to say, come on now. She'll help you out of it. Okay, so that's card 1. Card 2, Colour Archery. Sorry about my pronunciation. This is another emanation of Kali, number 32. And what Kala Ratri is bringing to you if you pick card 2, she's the truth witnessed and laid bare. There may be something that you need to see for what it really is. There may be something that you've been blind to recently, and then suddenly it's shown to you for what it is, and you kind of go, oh, wow, I wasn't seeing that before. So what Kala Ratri does is she doesn't like injustice. She likes people to know the truth. And even sometimes if knowing the truth can be a bit difficult, it may be with a personal situation, it may be with something to do with your own self, or it may be something that's going on outside politically or something else. She shows us the truth of the situation. And sometimes that truth can be a shock, but she doesn't want us trapped in illusion anymore. She shows you the truth, because she knows that the truth will liberate you and it makes you feel more free eventually. Even if it can be a bit of a shock in the first place. You think, well, I never thought that of that person, or, that person had me deceived, or that party or group or something made me think that they were this way and actually they were that way. So it could be anything though. It could be anything. It could be a truth that you've recently found out that doesn't feel in any way difficult to hear. It could be something that feels really good to hear and you think, oh right, now I know that, I feel so much better, so this is your message if you pick card 2. And number 3, Bhavatarini, another emanation of Kali, number 44. And this one is, you may be stuck in a certain pattern. This pattern could have been with you your whole life, a really difficult pattern, issue that keeps coming up for you. And what you'll find is it may be a pattern, the same thing, the same issue keeps coming up for you, but with different people. So you think, oh, right, okay, that pattern or issue caused me pain with one person. Say, for example, you were in a relationship and there was a certain issue that cropped up in a relationship, and then that relationship ended and you get yourself into another relationship, a brand new person, you think, right, everything will be okay now, and then that same pattern keeps coming up. So she really helps to free us now from those patterns. These patterns could have been with you for lifetimes, and what she's saying now is enough's enough. Let's try and ease you out of this pattern that's really keeping you stuck in a loop. So this is what Bhavatarini will do for you. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I just felt like some of us needed some Kali advice. If you found that interesting, certainly do a bit of research on Kali Ma. But she's been very misunderstood. She's not how she's been portrayed to be. She's not like a violent person. She's just a fierce, mothering energy that says, enough's enough, this isn't good for you anymore, I'm going to pull you out of it. And sometimes she can really pull you out of it, but it's for our own good. It stops us from suffering, and it ultimately gives us that final release from unnecessary suffering. This is what Kali Ma does for us, and I absolutely love her. I think she's amazing, and I really just felt like some of us needed that type of guidance today. So I hope you enjoyed that, and leave a comment if you'd like to, and I will be with you again soon with another reading. Bye for now.